started gymnastics when I was 6 years old.
Here's something that made me so happy as a kid.
I really think gymnastics was love at first sight.
Slowly but surely, it became a pretty intense passion.
I always had a goal in mind that I wanted to be the absolute best that I could be.
If I wanted to make this dream a reality, who says I can't do it?
I always wanted to be the best.
Even if there are skills that you can't get and somebody else can, everybody's journey is different.
Because I could fly and flip and twist.
We all do it because we love it, and it's such a beautiful sport.
All we had ever dreamed of in our entire lives was that moment.
When I'm training athletes, I categorize the kids into 3 basic groups. One group would be fighting and doing everything they can and not giving up. Wow. The next group, they push their bodies to the limit. Then I have that ultra group at the top who will push themselves beyond the limit. And I call them my limitless group. And the other kids, both other categories, they become your collegiate athletes, your great level 10 athletes. But that limitless group, they are the ones who become your international elites, your Olympians.
The general public, when you say gymnastics, they kind of word associate with the Olympics. And that has to do with all-around athletes, like Nadia Comaneci, Mary Lou Retton, Simone Biles now, and all the great champions, because they personified what greatness really is.
It's very rare to find somebody that's good at all 4 events.
Look how high she gets!
And when you see that person who wins the all-around, you have to look at that person as somebody that doesn't come very often.
This is right after the Olympics. After I won, I did an interview. That's my accreditation, and that was my doll.
But it is interesting because our son's 13.
Yeah, but now it's,
and
I look
he'll be
different,
14 in June. And I'm thinking, like, when she was 14, she was the best gymnast on the planet. Like, that's pretty remarkable, even now.
I don't think that you need any specific attributes to be a gymnast. It doesn't matter where you come from. Everybody can be great if they find the passion and what makes them wake up in the morning.
Just an incredible performance.
I was not born on a high beam either. I came out like any other kid, mortal. I was fortunate that gymnastics was something available at the time when there were no sports for women. We had physical education in school. When I was discovered, Bella came to the school. I think he asked who can do cartwheels. Bella taught us everything. He taught us how to swim. He taught us to ski when we were 8, 9 years old. We loved going to ski. We didn't like the part of climbing the mountain for 50 minutes. They like to go down, but to go down, they have to go up. After 2 weeks of that, we were unbelievably strong coming back to the gym.
I remember when she first came to the States and we got invited to a celebrity ski race up in Beaver Creek, Colorado. And I said, let's go skiing. And she goes, oh, I don't like skiing. You got to walk for 45 minutes to ski for 2. And I said, no, we're going to use the chairlifts. And she goes, okay, I'll go.
I think we were prepared for anything.
The merest touch on that lower bar. High flight over, reaches the handstand position.
When we were doing repetitions, I always did 1 extra. I wanted to know my limits, and I couldn't figure out.
Faultless. Absolutely faultless.
There was always space for more. I used to call it the Nadia touch.
And 10 has gone on the board, and that is Olympic history for Nadia Comaneci.
When Nadia got that perfect 10, there weren't enough light bulbs on the scoreboard to display it. Even the people who built the scoreboards called the International Federation and said, hey, can anybody get a 10? Because we got to know how many light bulbs to put on the display. And they said, no, nobody's going to get a 10. So to save money, they didn't put extra light bulbs in. They just put 1.00.
The person before me got 9.9. I think there was no space for the judges to go. They had to go to the maximum, even though I felt that there were some little things, only I can see it. They were not, perfect.
But then it also provoked an interesting conversation. Was she perfect? What is the definition of perfection? I mean, that took the sport and the discussion around the sport to a whole nother level.
The all-around requires a gymnast to really master all 4 events. You have power and explosivity on vault, fluid swing and upper body strength on uneven bars, balance and coordination on balance beam, and on floor. Power in the tumbling, grace in the dance and movement, leaps and jumps.
The all-around really distinguishes who's the queen of gymnastics, who gets the crown.
I kind of always prided myself on being an all-arounder. I always wanted to be able to, hold my own on vault, bars, beam, and floor, and come out on top at the end.
The first American gymnast since Mary Lou Retton in 1984 to win a gold medal in the all-around, and the first ever in a non-boycotted Olympics.
I used to watch gymnastics videos over and over again, and it was actually before YouTube, so we would watch it on a VHS tape, and I knew the routines, I knew what skill was coming up next. If they made a little mistake, I could tell you when it was gonna happen. I loved it so much. I was so mesmerized by what the older girls were doing, and I wanted to learn from them. I was watching Carly Patterson with my mom, and I remember they showed her mom on TV, and my mom just kind of took a deep breath and said, I'm so glad I'm never gonna have to experience that. I can't imagine what it would be like to watch your kid compete at the Olympics. I was pissed. I said to her, I'm gonna go to the Olympics, what are you talking about? I just had this weird feeling that it was gonna happen.
This is one of the most anticipated days in the Olympics, when one woman stands above everyone else. What they are about to try and do is follow in the steps only 3 American women have ever known.
Gabby and I advanced to the all-around final. There's so much pressure, and even if you're so prepared for the competition, your hands are sweaty and you feel shaky. You have to be so focused on yourself and also focusing on competing with yourself, which is also difficult. The hardest part for me was handling the pressure. For years, I would qualify top 3, but then, the day of the all-around final, I would just psych myself out and get too nervous.
She was rattled right from the beginning. When you mentioned the leg split, I almost think she got lost in her routine.
At World Championships, I had gotten 4th in the all-around final. I had gotten 4th so many times. It's really hard to go after your dreams. It's not always perfect. Nothing is perfect.
The women's all-around is 4 apparatus, highest score wins.
The morning of the all-around final, I could feel something was off.
Probably the biggest threat to either of these Americans is the Russians.
We started on vault, and it was good. Then I went to bars.
Very good for Aly, but she can do better.
Went to beam, went from being first on bars to last on beam, so it's a very, very long wait time. And I did my front pike on beam. I touched the beam, which is an 8/10 deduction. I felt really numb, disappointed in myself, and really afraid that I let people down.
And now it may be for Aly Raisman to think about what's going to come on floor exercise between her and Lostafina.
I did the best that I could, but I definitely didn't have that same confidence. I didn't have any big mistakes, but...
A tie for the bronze, and now they will have to start doing their calculations.
I remember just waiting there, which felt like forever, for the judges to decide how to break the tie. Gabby won, and then seeing my name drop to 4th was just pretty brutal.
Well, what they did is they took the highest 3 event scores, and when you total that together, Mustafina comes out ahead.
I felt like, honestly, like my life was over and that I let everyone down. I think it really speaks to how much pressure we put on athletes to win. My self-worth was wrapped up in that moment.
This is the DCU Center, the site of the 2013 AT&T American Cup, and this event is the most important annual international event in American gymnastics.
In elite gymnastics, we suppress a lot of emotions and compartmentalize things until it becomes too much for us to take. In 2013, here I was on top of the world as a gymnast, and then everything kind of got ripped away from me. I started gymnastics when I was 3. I learned things really quick. I learned back handspring at like 4 years old, could cast handstand on the bars when I was like 5. And so they had me competing younger than everyone else. I was on the national team by the time I was 12 years old and engaged in the elite world.
Now on core exercise, Katelyn Ohashi.
And this is when everything kind of like ramped up. My mom was very like gymnastics mom. She wanted the Olympics, and gymnastics is such an expensive sport. So she started working, cleaning the gym.
Katelyn, smile!
My mom would always tell me, like, you have a God-given talent. It was really difficult knowing as a kid that my parents were making these sacrifices. I remember being terrified of letting my family down. It took a long time for me to understand that they were proud of me no matter what. So I felt like I had these things to live up to. I was doing it for everyone around me. Like, I was never asked what I wanted to accomplish and like what my goals were.
And this is Katelyn Ohashi, impressive to say the least.
She's the reigning national champion.
Katelyn's one of the most incredible people I've ever met. We competed in elite together a couple of times. She was sort of a junior when I was a senior. She was just so insanely talented, but I could tell that she was not really enjoying elite.
Here's something that made me so happy as a kid, and that's the reason why you got into it. And now all your motives are changing, and it's not because you actually want to do it, it's because you're afraid of not doing it. So you just force yourself, and it's the wrong type of motivation. And then I think I hit that breaking point in 2013.
Brand new routine for Katelyn. I know she was really excited about this routine.
I had pain in my back, and that's normal for athletes to go through pain. I remember just like bending, and I was like, oh, like my back kind of hurts. And I was just told that it was fine. This is 2013 American Cup. At this point, I could not even touch my back without like crying in pain. I remember one day I ran my finger like down my spine, and I could feel like one of my vertebrae like sticking out. I continued to push through, but I landed short.
Played it a little bit safe there at the end. She was supposed to do a full twist.
As soon as I land, my face droops, and then I open my mouth a little. The pain is so excruciating.
Katelyn Ohashi wins it.
Well, you took the lead after the 3rd rotation, but you didn't look very happy when you finished up on floor. What was going through your mind, and did you think that maybe you had let it slip away?
This is my senior debut. Little did I know it would be my last. And I came home and I was just crying. And my mom was like, aren't you happy? And I was like, I literally can't move. I finally got a doctor's appointment, which I was told that I wasn't supposed to do. Turned out to be spondylolisthesis with a fracture, so they were worried that my vertebrae would slip and hit my spinal cord. I was in a brace for like 4 months, and they told me that I might not ever do gymnastics again. Like, hallelujah. It was so amazing to hear, because I didn't want to feel that type of pressure again. As much as I hated the sport and didn't want to be a part of it, I realized that's all I did know, and that's how I got my self-worth. When that was no longer an option, who was I and what was my purpose? I decided to kind of switch my goal path after that. And 2 years later, finally, I got to come back and compete and touch the floor again.
I'm definitely a perfectionist. I feel like it helps when it goes into play of gymnastics because that means I want to do the best I can be. I want to make that skill perfectly. 2017 Worlds was crazy. I wasn't even expecting to be on that team. I remember talking to my friend the night before, and I was like, it would be so cool to place top 10 in the all-around. I was like, man, it would be so cool to get a medal. And I ended up winning 2017 Worlds.
Look up pure joy, and today you'll see a picture of Morgan Hurd.
And also just like the best floor routine I've ever done. It was just so fun to compete. I felt so happy just the entire thing.
I really love performing. That's a reason why floor is probably my most favorite to compete, just because I love going out and truly putting on a show.
If you asked a million gymnasts, probably majority of them would say that floor is the most fun event to compete. Because that's where you can connect with the audience and really be yourself. Floor was so much fun because I could dance.
To be excellent on floor, you have to be a performer.
This is just poetry in motion.
It's the only event where you can bring people in and make them feel what you're feeling.
Floor is a puzzle. A great floor team has the dance, the leaps, the tumbling, but then more than that, you gotta have a super high level of endurance, cardio strength, leg strength, power, and do that many difficult skills in 1.5 minutes.
Here, we usually do floor routines every other day.
Front leg again so it doesn't tilt you forward. It's good, front leg up.
Sometimes we'll do just dance-throughs to focus on our leaps.
That's it, I like.
Or we'll do tumbling on the power track.
Not bad. Fell back a little bit.
Slava just knows when to push you harder and when to hold back.
It's better, just you landing on the flat feet, that's all.
He's just a very caring coach all around.
Okay, just bend your legs and land in. Okay. She has always been self-driven since she was a little kid. She's really here from 8:15 till about 6:30 every night. Every day Morgan will take a nap for about 1.5 hours in a gym because it really helps her to recover and restore the energy for the practice.
This is my massage gun. I use it like about 2 or 3 times a day. I was born in Guangzhou, China. I was adopted at 11 months old by my mom, Sherry Hurd.
Abandoned on the steps of a hospital in Wuzhou. Now, Morgan is a 5-time world medalist and the 2017 World All-Around Champion.
When I was younger, my mom always told me that I had a really big imagination, and I feel like that came with not only being an only child, but because I loved to read. I definitely think there's a connection between me loving books and me loving to tell a story while I do my floor routine. I just got a new floor routine a few months ago. Music is Asian-inspired. To me, what makes a great floor routine is putting on a show, really being into your dance and not just going through the movements. The judges are looking for basically everything. You have to have great execution on your tumbling, solid landings with no steps. They're looking for your leaps to be overextended and hit 180.
I mean, me and Morgan started in 2008, so it's been almost 12 years already, and it's been a long and exciting journey with her.
He's more like a father to me than anything else. I just always want to make him really proud. I obviously definitely feel the pressure of 2020 approaching. The field is so deep that literally you could take anyone, but I'm trying to take it just one day at a time and one goal at a time.
Floor, I think it's the quintessence of artistic gymnastics, because there is a combination of the art and acrobatics. Sadi, Turishcheva had some phenomenal floor routines, a very good classical ballet training.
During the 60s, they were like in their 20s, and they were married, and they were just ladies.
After the 68 Olympics and onward, the athletes were younger. They were probably very fearless. Their bodies were lighter, and they were doing tricks that were connected with that kind of body type.
Olga Korbut, she has a gold now. To win another gold, she needs a performance of 9.90.
What we knew of the Eastern Bloc countries was they were tough, very strict, but Olga was a little more mischievous. She was kind of this little scraggly, tiny little imp of a girl who did these incredibly daring moves that nobody had ever seen before.
I felt like I'm 7 years old, jumping green grass, just me and all my world.
Oh, yeah.
She got the 9.90 and another gold medal.
When we first time came to United States, it was 1973, and the ambassador of Russia called me and said, "Tomorrow morning, President of United States of America would like to meet you to White House." I saw one guy going towards to me, and it was Richard Nixon. He said, "Oh, you little girl." And I told him, "Oh, you big boy." And Holmes just started laughing.
She captured the attention and the imagination of the world.
Same day, the ambassador, Dobrynin, said, "You little girl did for 5 minutes what we couldn't do it for 5 years."
And whatever the differences between leaders may be, we think that the young people of the world can live with Miri Druzhba.
Miri Druzhba means in Russian, peace and friendship.
I melted ice between two countries. This is the most successful achievement what I ever made. Between 1972 and 76, gymnastics didn't change, but equipment started changing.
Floor was just a carpet on like a wood gym floor. And then it turned into a piece of foam with a carpet on it. And then we started adding a piece of wood with foam blocks under the wood and foam on top of it and then carpet on top of it. And as the level of gymnastics started progressing, the manufacturers started experimenting. Well, what about springs? Maybe that would support bigger skills. So then as that started evolving, the level of skill started evolving. Well, I can get higher, I could punch more, I could do more flips in the air.
Now, instead of those wood planks, they use fiberglass boards. It's made it so it's a little bit bouncier, but most of all, it prevents injuries a little bit more.
I have to say that I miss some of the earlier styles of women's gymnastics because there was indeed an artistry that went with them. And today, there's less time to incorporate that into routines because it's much more trick-oriented.
The level of gymnastics is so much harder. Every single year, you've got people like Simone Biles who's doing a triple-double on floor.
Most athletes tumble about 4 tumbling passes right now. Numerous double flips because those are required as well. Most athletes will do some kind of a bouncing elements, putting 2, 3 of them together to get a bonus.
Floor exercise is an event where a gymnast wants to give a whole performance. Showing emotion, if she can muster it, is absolutely a plus. It's something that's going to get the crowd on her side, and it's something that can impact the judges.
In the Olympics, I got 7 10s.
This was amazing. Double twisting back somersault, punch front as high as a head.
When I was on the floor, I was always smiling. I was always a happy gymnast. And, you know, the fans loved that. But the hair, I hate it. Somebody in the federation decided they didn't like my hair, so they gave me a perm. It wasn't a big deal to me, but now people comment so much about it that it really bothers me. I'm like, everybody had that kind of hair in the 80s. Just watch my gymnastics. Can you see my flip and not my hair?
No way, surely, the judges can divide.
My first floor exercise routines were terrible. I hated dancing. I absolutely hated it. I was self-conscious when I was younger. But when I turned 15, something changed inside of me. People started noticing my choreography because I became confident, more womanly. To perform on floor exercise, you have to have a story in your routine. In my 1988 routine, I did Spanish music Carmen, very dramatic love story. There's a different expression where you look for somebody you like, you know, in the corner. I felt very comfortable. Even routine was very bizarre. In '89, the story was I was a singer and I was a guitar player where I had like a microphone. I always just tried to do something that I personally enjoy. I have to like myself doing it in order for public to like me.
What drama?
I started gymnastics when I was 5 years old, and I actually remember watching Nastia Liukin and Shawn Johnson on my TV, and they looked so graceful and powerful, and I wanted to be like them. Starting out for the first couple of years, it was just fun to have a safe place to flip around, because I would do it on my bed a lot, and my parents were like, please, no, you're gonna hit your head. And I was like, no, I wanna learn how to do a backflip, that's more important. They were like, oh. But it really wasn't until I was around 9 years old where I was like, okay, I think I wanna go to the Olympics. When I told my parents, their first reaction was, okay, how can we help you get there? I have Post-its all over my apartment. My sticky note. This one is just like, I'll believe in myself and my abilities. I'll stay true to myself and my values. Today is full of endless opportunities, because sometimes I have to remind myself of that, and I can be quick to forget. Hi, Dad.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? My family is still in New Jersey. I'm in California. My grandparents from both sides are from Puerto Rico. I didn't realize the impact of being a Latina gymnast in 2016, how much of an impact that would have on other people watching. I had a lot of parents and a lot of families saying, like, you know, my daughter didn't think she could do gymnastics, but then they saw you out there and they noticed that you looked like them, and now they think they can do it. So thank you. I was not expecting that at all. And it created kind of this big, like, domino effect of representation in the sport and outside of it. So now, coming back a second time, I think that's something that I'm paying attention to. It's something that I'm proud of, and it's something that I own. As a last hurrah, that's my music. And I think it's good for everybody to see that. After I land my first pass, that's when the music switches and breaks. It goes from like slow and it's building, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, Spanish music. There's a lot of quick salsa in there, and then it turns into an Americanized EDM beat towards the end. I think what makes Floor different from all other events is that your true personality comes out when you're up there. I want my music to be in sync with me. I want to fall in love with the dance, that way you're having a good time too. All of that is like your body and your personality shining at its brightest. I love to dance, and I'm a crowd pleaser, so we're gonna take my floor routine, we're gonna saturate the heck out of it, so that way the crowd and everybody enjoys it just like I do. In late 2018, I chose to come back. I wanted another go at the Olympics simply because I missed it. My body's different now, and I'm getting used to it. It's definitely gonna take a lot from me to make the 2020 Olympic Games. There are a lot of athletes throughout the years that have done an Olympic Games and have tried to come back, make it or not, they tried, and that's a really difficult thing. I've especially connected with Aly Raisman to have a little mentor. Aly's floor routine is mind-blowing to me. I could go and do a double back and fly out of bounds, and meanwhile she's going step, step, round off, 1.5, step out, round off, back handspring, double Arabian, front layout into one corner and nails it. That's insane. Even when we're still hanging out to this day, every so often I'll bring up and be like, do you know your first pass is literally 7 seconds long? You could take her first tumbling pass, split it up into 3, and have a whole floor routine.
Well, the crowd loved it with good reason. That is a performance to beat in the floor final.
I decided to come back after 2012 because I felt like I had more to do in the sport, and I was really excited to kind of see where it would take me.
In 2004, a young American woman by the name of Carly Patterson won the women's all-around gold medal. And now 2 women, Simone Biles there and Aly Raisman next to her, try to make it 4 straight for the United States.
I was really hoping that I was going to get a chance at the all-around final. I was coming back on my terms, and I was not going to let myself feel so defeated like I did last time.
Rick and Lynn, for 2 Olympics now, we watched them go through every single move.
I was really nervous. When you're at the Olympics, there's a million different things you're thinking about, and it's really hard just to kind of stay focused, but that's really the name of the game. Vault had gone really, really well. I was really excited.
Here's a big release for her. Got to grab the bar, and she's got it.
I had done a fine bar routine, and that's really all I needed to do.
The most nerve-wracking to watch.
I hit my beam routine. I was so excited, so relieved. Going into floor, I felt really confident, and I remember just walking over with Simone, and we both were excited to just sort of have fun, enjoy the floor routine, because that was both of our best events.
She said, on this comeback, I've worked so hard, harder than if I had had no success.
When you're competing at the Olympics, you need this extra level of confidence. You gotta have a facial expression, a little smirk or a smile or something that sets you apart. Your tumbling has to stand out. You have to think about the running and the round off and the back handspring, and then when you get to the double back, you think about that. You have to do steps in order to get there.
This is the moment she came back for. A return to the Olympics has been worth it.
When I finished my floor routine in 2016, I just immediately
Started crying because I was so relieved and just so happy.
And silver medalist, 1-2 for Team USA.
I ended up getting the silver, and Simone ended up winning. You know, for me, the silver was my best, and so it kind of felt like the gold medal for me. At the 2012 Olympics, I really believe that because I didn't medal in the all-around, I wasn't enough. But I don't feel like my self-worth is wrapped up in gymnastics anymore. I honestly wish I could go back in time and just give myself a hug and tell myself that it's something to be very proud of. My best advice to the 2020 Olympic hopefuls would be compete with yourself. I think it's actually what's going to help you be even more successful. And then it doesn't matter the color of the medal. If you do the best that you can do, then I think that's something to be really proud of.
What's new with you? Will we see you compete again?
Right now I'm just trying to get healthy again and in shape. Obviously, it's been a while.
When I was out of the sport, I was really angry, and then I decided to kill the what-ifs. I started getting x-rays every 6 weeks to make sure that my back was stable enough. I wanted to feel happy again and enjoy something that I once had loved. So I decided to go back to training.
It took a while to get back, 2 years almost, just like injury after injury.
And what's been the most exciting part about coming back?
Proving to myself that I can, like, come back.
I never really asked myself if I was happy or not.
I want to go to college and, like, get a good, like, degree and everything, so.
First time I was actually asked was when I called Miss Val at 16.
You called and you said, "Hi, Miss Val, it's Katelyn Ohashi." And my breath was taken away. I was like, you might have well have said, "Hi, Miss Val, I'm Kobe Bryant," or Serena Williams. It's like, I'm Katelyn Ohashi. I'm going, oh my God. And I'm doing the happy dance. Katelyn Ohashi, Katelyn Ohashi's on the phone. Anybody in the gymnastics world knew of Katelyn Ohashi when she was 12 years old. She's that perfect combination for our sport of not just strength, but she's got the lines and the beauty and the movement quality. Her performance quality is what I just fell in love with immediately.
Katelyn Ohashi.
Very well known in the international scene as a young athlete.
2 years later, I got to come back and compete and touch the floor again.
Welcome to UCLA Gymnastics. She's only 4'10" and she's never stood so tall.
Thank goodness we have college gymnastics. Gymnasts of all levels can flourish. They can go as far as they can in elite and then make a choice. Sometimes they do. They say, you know, this isn't for me. And I'm gonna get ready for college and go have the time of my life and be competitive.
The rules are dramatically different in college. The elite rules are really demanding, and you have to do really high level of difficulty, where in college gymnastics, you need a moderate level of difficulty, but you're judged on execution and performance.
Athletes will really reach their full potential when they embrace everything that they're about and not just their gymnastics talent.
The reason why I've got to experience and discover the person I am today, it's because Miss Val encourages all of us to share our own unique light.
They don't care who's watching. They just are engulfed in the spirit of dance. And I think the last few years you found your childhood. You can make people be great technicians, but you can't make them great performers and embody this whole experience. And when they do, that's when the magic happens.
I love music, I love dancing, I love performing. I put myself authentically out there, and I think when I dance, it kind of shows.
So it kind of all comes together when I'm out there on the floor. And then my routine went viral.
Millions around the world have seen her routine.
The face of women's collegiate gymnastics. It is a 10 for Ohashi.
Little girls all over the country have fallen in love with Katelyn Ohashi.
Where I am today has brought me so much joy and so much success.
And the winner is Katelyn Ohashi.
Overnight fame from 1 in a million. Over 100 million views. I started seeing myself in the news, trying to infuse a little bit of joy into the world and my sport.
I love the phrase like feeding your soul, and that's what I would say the sport is to me now. It's not that I have to do it, and it's not that I'm doing it for anyone else. It's because I truly want to feed my soul.
Finding the artistry and that confidence in gymnastics is really hard. But really, it's just learning about yourself, loving yourself, being confident in yourself, and saying, hey, I'm gonna go out there and have a great time and enjoy what I'm doing.
I'm never gonna be like anybody else. And it's taking that as like a superpower and embracing that and knowing that there is nobody like you. That's what makes you special.
You know, as little girls, we want to learn new things and flip around. And then slowly, as we get more serious in the sport, it gets to a point where we want to be the best. And there really is no such thing as the perfect gymnast, because we all have our individual strengths, and that's what makes, I think, gymnastics so beautiful.
Gymnastics is my whole life. It's all I've known since I was little. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Even though it's a lot, I definitely love it. Come to the gym every day. It's my choice to come.
I feel like in the elite world, you gotta train 7 or 8 hours every single day.
It's the ultimate sport of athleticism.
You have to have perseverance. I'm with my coaches in the gym more than I'm with my family at home. I can't go to regular school because of my training schedule, so I do online school.
I'm doing it because I love this sport and I love everything that comes with it.
You have to literally be like a Wonder Woman to do it.